Hi, this is Alfonso Cordero again from Cordero CPA. And today we're going to continue talking about corporations. In video number one, we talk about how to create or form a corporation. Let's assume that you already have the entity. So it will be the second step, the second thing that you need to do. And that is to obtain what is called an employer identification number, to obtain a federal ID. This is a number given by the Internal Revenue Service. Whenever I explain this in seminars, I like to tell people, think about your Social Security. Everybody has to have a Social Security number. Same thing happened with the business. Every business have to have an identification number. But instead of calling it Social Security, we're going to call it Employer Identification Number. This number is obtained from the Internal Revenue Service. That's where you apply for. And you apply by filling out Form SS4. It's a form that you can do electronically. You can basically put all the basic information, and at the end of the session, and it doesn't take more than 2 or 3 minutes if you know what you're doing, you get your number. What do you need for that form? You need to have the corporate name, which you already have, because on video number one, we showed you that you can obtain how you can incorporate the business, how you can register that with the state. So in this video, we're showing you the second step, which is how to obtain the numbers that you need. And the first number is the employer identification number. So you're going to need the name of the entity, which you already have. We're going to need the address. We're going to need who is the responsible party here, who is the person responsible, which is you, the owner. The one that is listening to me, you are the responsible person that have to put your name there and your Social Security number. Then another question is, what is the purpose of this business? What is it that you're going to be doing? What is the business about? So you need to clear that. You need to establish what is your main function of the business, okay? And be a little bit, try to explain as much as possible. Don't try to be just import-export. You have to put what? Import-export computers, import-export electronics. What is it that you're going to be doing? Also, you need to put the year end. When is it that you're going to close the books? When is it that you're going to close the year for tax purposes? Usually, you should put December. That's the calendar month where a lot of things in the business you have to fill out paper for. So let's do the income tax also based on calendar month. So usually you put December there. Then also requires you to say, if you're going to have employees, when do you expect to start paying payroll? When is it that? And that's something that you can talk to your accountant as far as when is that the first payroll is going to happen. Most businesses is right away. When you start the business, you start having employees and you're going to start having payroll. There's some businesses where you are the owner and you are also having like a second job. This is a side business that you're starting, and maybe at the beginning, since you're not making money, you don't draw a salary yet. But you have to talk to your accountant, to your CPA, to help you more and to determine this date. But you need to put that down. The other thing that you need to have is you need to sign the form. At the end, you have to put your name, you have to put your phone number, and sign the form. And usually, by doing click, you will get the SS4, you will get the number, you will get the actual number for you. And this is step number one, because the other numbers that we're going to be talking about, you need to put this number there. So you need the employer ID number in order to apply for the sales tax number. You need the employer ID number in order to apply for your occupational license. So that's why this is step number 2. Make sure you follow the instruction in the same order as we are giving them. First, create the entity. We're talking about the corporation. That's what we did on video number 1. You create the entity, you form the corporation. Second, you're going to obtain your employer identification number. And we explained to you how with the form SS4, you can do it through the internet. The third will be to get the sales and use tax number. This is a number that most companies will require. It depends on your business activity. It depends what is it that you are going to be doing. Depending on that, you may not need this number. Let's assume you this for the purpose of the exercise. You're going to go again through the internet and you're going to file form DR1. And this is the application for sales and use tax number. And this is given to you by the Florida Department of Revenue. Remember, we have different government entities at different levels. On the federal level, that covers all the different states, you have the Internal Revenue Service, among others. But we're going to concentrate on that one. On the state level, we're going to be talking about the Florida Department of Revenue, since we are based in Florida. But if you are based in New York, you're talking about New York Department of Taxation. If you're based on Texas, you're talking about Texas Department of Revenue. So it depends where you are. It doesn't really matter. It will be the local government tax agency, whoever that is. Okay? So you're going to go to the state and apply for that sales and use tax number. And this is a number that you're going to need if in the activity, whatever you're going to be doing, you need to collect sales tax from the people that you're going to provide the services or sell the items that you're going to be selling. So you need to have that number for that, because you collect that money and you need to then send the money to the government. This is not your money, this is extra money. I'll give you a quick example. Let's assume that I'm going to buy something in your store. I'm going to buy a pencil, and the pencil costs $1. And you said, okay, it's 107. But it costs $1. Why is 107? It costs $1, but I have to charge you 7 cents for the sales tax that belongs to the government. And as a company, you are going to receive the 107, but the 107 is not sales for you. Sales is only $1. The 7 cents is the sales tax. You're collecting that, you're taking that money from me, and you're going to send that government that money to the owner, which is the government. So at the end of the month, you're going to be transmitting those funds to the government either via check or via electronic ways. The third thing that you may need is you may need the state unemployment tax. State unemployment tax happens when you have employees. So at that point, you may are going to have to require this number. And that's also applying the same form DR1. So when you apply for the sales and use tax, you can also apply for the state unemployment tax. These are two different agencies, or two different numbers, same agency, same regulation, but you need to apply in the same form for the two items. The third thing that you need is the occupational license. Every business, no matter where you are, is going to need an occupational license. The occupational license is basically a permit that the government is giving you to operate your business. And this is done by the county. And no matter where you are, there is a county. The county requires that, and if you are in a city, that means an incorporated area, then you need to apply for an occupational license in the city also. Let's assume that you are, for instance, in Doral, Florida, which is where one of our offices are. We have the city of Doral and we have Miami-Dade County. So we need to apply for an occupational license with the county, Miami-Dade County, and with the city, city of Doral. If you are in Hialeah, you will go to the city of Hialeah. If you are in Kissimmee, you are going to the city of Kissimmee. So it depends where you are, you go to the county and you also go to the city. You may need 2 occupational licenses. Then what else do you need? You may need some other licenses, depends on what is it that you do. For instance, as a CPA, we need to have a professional license. So that means that in order for us to tell you we are CPAs, we need to have a license from the state of Florida, the department that regulates the professional licenses. So you may need to have one, depends on what you do for a living. Don't forget, create the entity, get your employer identification number, get your sales and use tax, get your unemployment tax number, and also get your licenses. Occupational licenses and professional licenses is needed. See you soon. Cordero CPA.